Hi, this is Joseph. In this video, I'm going to review the trades that I took today. These are the same trades that are open and closed in the TradeCopier EA. If you use my TradeCopier EA, it will automatically open all of the trades I take in my MT4 account. So let's get started. This is November 18th. This is Monday. We're looking at Bitcoin. We're going to start off with the Bitcoin chart. So let's take a look at the first trade. The first trade was right here where I was looking at this wedge pattern. You can see what I'm also kind of anticipating as the whole thing develops. At this point, this level right here wasn't set up just yet. But what I'm looking at is a possible opportunity to take a trade right here, back up after a double bottom, back up into this area of resistance. So this first trade right here, it was a small trade. This over here to the right had not been developed, of course, at that point. So I'm going to take it careful. I'm going to trade it straight into this level of resistance. So this trade, the first trade was 488 points. Now, the next trade was, again, pretty much the same thing. It had pulled back, but at this point, I could tell that we had already taken out that swing high. We pulled back, so this was a test of the breakout area right here that I saw. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. Again, all these trades I execute in the MT4 platform, and the TradeCopier EA automatically copies these trades and puts them into your account. So again, once I saw this pullback and it created that hammer, bullish hammer, I knew that this was just a test at that point and that we were probably going to resume our way back up and then probably head on up. This black line right here is a level of resistance, but there's also a few other areas of resistance right up here. So I was able to trade on the close of that hammer. So I did basically the same thing until we cleared outside of that high. So right back up to this area of resistance a little bit further. So it was at least 2 or 3 bars. These are 5-minute charts again. So the second trade, I earned 431 points. And then after the pullback test again, you can see that it kind of did the same thing once again, all over again. It kind of printed the same, basically the same setup. So again, when this bar closed, I was able to take this trade. I entered this trade here with the second confirming breakout bar. So I have a bull bar here, and then I have the breakout, which confirms the breakout above all areas of resistance over here on the left-hand side. At that point, I knew we were on our way back up here to resistance. So here I was able to get into this trade and trade it right up to resistance. That third trade earned 1,200 points. As soon as it hit 1,200 points now, it went a little bit further, but once it was at 1,200 points, I closed out the trade. Now, I was able to short this. It took a little while. I did not short the first reversal. I didn't short this one here. I wasn't too sure if we're looking at 1, 2, 3 legs down, and then it was going to come back up. It couldn't clear this level of resistance right here. It was just a test. And then when it came back down one more time and broke out that low and then pulled back, this was a test. And then when it reversed and printed that bearish engulfing candle, closing below that low, I call these bars a clamp down bar. It's specific to the way my trading system is. It's a clamp down bar. Everybody's got different terminology for it. I'm sure you've probably heard different things for basically the same setup. It's not anything unique or unusual. It's just a reversal. It's just confirmation. I've got a double top right here. I can see that we're moving lower, probably coming back down. This is probably overall just a trading range, and we're probably going to return back to areas of support at this point. So when that bar closed, I have additional forms of confirmation with some of these indicators. I was able to get into that trade, and I held on to it until it reached back down here to this breakout level, which was the initial breakout that started the whole day. After that double bottom right there and that wedge, this was the breakout level. You can see I kind of drew a line. I had that thing set up here on that test. And then as it started to resume and make its way back down, as price started making its way back down, I was able to short it and hold on to the trade. This final trade, the fourth trade, I made 1,040 points. So the total number of points on this with Bitcoin was 3,159. I don't do that every day, but it was a fairly decent day. It wasn't too difficult to see. Again, I trade this on a 5-minute chart. The TradeCopier executes these trades very, very fast. It's lightning fast. As soon as I click the buy or sell button on my MT4, it does the exact same thing for you if you are using the TradeCopier to copy my trades. Let me show you the second chart that I was trading today. Here we're looking at the S&P. I trade the S&P just about every day. Again, if you're using an MT4 platform that allows you to trade cryptocurrencies, indices, commodities. I didn't trade any oil or gold today, but you can copy all of my trades with the TradeCopier. So basically, again, this is that dot right there at 6:30. If you're familiar with my videos, I put a dot at 6:30 start time, which is 9:30. I'm in California, so that's 9:30 New York. That's the first 5-minute bar open. There again, it's a very similar pattern compared to what we saw with the Bitcoin. It's not obviously at the same levels, but it's a very similar pattern. I had a double bottom. I had a hammer. I was able to get into this trade. The first trade, I was able to take 5.5 points straight up to this double top right there of resistance. Again, not knowing for sure that it was going to break out and continue. Once I know it's going to break out and continue, then I can hold on to these trades a lot longer. So this was my second entry right here where that green hammer is, where I'm moving my cursor. This was just follow up. I draw follow up bars because I'm also sending charts like this to my private coaching clients throughout the day. I show them where there are additional entries if they're not into a trade at the same level that I get into it. I just show them different areas where there would be a second or third or fourth entry opportunities that are valid. So again, I got in on this hammer right here. It was a second bar right after the breakout. Second bar after the breakout. And then I was able to hold on to this one. I refer to this as managing the 5-minute trend. So managing the 5-minute trend again means trying not to get scared out of a trending move too soon. I was able to hold on to it until it reached right up here at that level, right at that red bar. When the next green bar opened and started to continue to move higher, and I noticed that it just wasn't going any lower, there was no wick on that one, I closed it as it was taking out the highs of the bodies of these candles. At that point, usually 20 points. Now, that's not to say that every single time a trend goes 20 points, the trend is over. That's not what I mean at all, considering some of the indicators that I was using at that point. And I was able to also use some measured move targets. So let me show you one of the first things that I did on this breakout. So this breakout right here, this bar, I just drew the risk to reward tool from the high to the low of that bar, that swing, and the hammer. And it gave me an area of resistance right up here at 33.75, and we fell just short of it. So I knew that once we were reaching about 20 points on a good trending move like this, is pretty typical for an average trade like this. It wasn't likely going to be the kind of day that it was going to continue to scream up, 60, 80 more points or a total of 80 points for the day. That's not what today was. Today was just an opportunity where it just kind of fell into the right place. There's a few other areas that I was using as measurements to try to see if there was going to be some kind of measured move targets up here. There was, considering the overall range from the open, and I was able to kind of layer these two ideas using these measured move targets, as this was likely to be an area of resistance. We know that computers are going to close at these levels. We know that traders are going to close at these levels. So everybody's looking for these levels if you're aware of them. So that's all I needed to do was just trade it to the 20. I was able to get 20 and 3/4 points on this trade. At that point, I was done. I didn't take any other trades over here. I didn't try to sell anything at this point. I was done on this chart and I was looking for other opportunities. So again, Bitcoin was 3,159 points, and the S&P, I earned 5.5 points on the first trade and 20 and 3/4 points on the second trade. Now, if you'd like to get trades like this in your MT4 account, you can use my TradeCopier EA and it will automatically copy all of my trades. It'll open and close each one of these trades for you. Even if you're at work or you're sleeping, you don't have to do anything once you connect the TradeCopier EA to your account. If you would like to download a free trial of the MT4 TradeCopier EA, go to my website, www.buytradecopier.com, and you can check out the TradeCopier EA right now.